Hi everyone. I'm back. It's been what, a month? Um, I'm going to be doing a video about my update on my mental health. Um, this isn't an easy video for me to do because I think it's right for me and especially right for a lot of people who watch me to know what and who and how I'm truly feeling. I will update the people who don't know me. I'm Diana Brown. I'm 24, 25 on the 18th of November. I'm transgender and I'm also on the autistic spectrum. I also have got mental health. For those who for those who do know me and who don't know me, I have been recently I recently started I've actually phoned the doctor because I think that my mental health is deteriorating, not just because of this pandemic, because of multiple things. The sad truth is that I feel lonely. I feel lonely. I feel I felt lonely for some time, and at one point it went away and I felt stable, and recently it's come back, and it's like a vendetta, really. It's come back in a bit of a It's sad because I don't like how I look, and I don't have much confidence within myself or my abilities, and for me to for me to ask a guy out, or for me to give a guy my number or something like that, takes a lot of courage, and it's one of the saddest things is that to me I just don't like feeling so awful about how I look or how feel. As you notice, I'm in my dressing gown and I haven't had a shave, but it sounds quite sad. But to be brutally honest, when I get really down, I just don't even open the curtains for the window. I don't even, even eat properly. The things that I eat, even when I'm low, it's more comfort food, and it's hard because it doesn't help my mental health. But I phoned the doctor up the other week, and we all know that there's a mental health crisis. But the sad thing about it was the way how the phone call was. If I wanted to, I asked to get it referred to see a psychiatrist or someone, and she wanted to see if I can pass the whole criteria. Can you believe it? I explain everything. I explained my suicidal thoughts. I explained my past with my father that I will come on to. I explain my self harming. I haven't done physical self harming, mainly other self harming. I explained of it's deteriorated over the last months or so, not because of the pandemic, because of other things. And at the end of the phone call, she said that it doesn't sound like you would really pass the criteria, but I'm still going to send it off. And after being told that, no wonder people, sadly commit suicide or feel left so abandoned. Sad thing about it is that with all the negativity that's going on in the world, I'm very lucky to have good friends and to have a roof over my head and to have the ability to get food and, pay my bills and all that. But the sad truth about it is that it's not based on that, my mental health. It's based on of how I feel and how I look. When I wake up in the mornings, I feel dreadful. When I go to bed, I feel dreadful. When I go into town, I feel ugly. I feel worthless, and I feel unloved. And the other day my uncle phoned me up at 9:30, or not, no, 9 o'clock, and he told me that my father phoned, and my uncle's gay and married, and my father kept on still calling me by my dead name, and the one thing that I took from that was that I know that my uncle loved me and accepted me, because he said that her name's Diana and I will love her even if she's trans or detrans, I will still love her. And father still kept on calling me by my dead name, and if you don't know me, or you do know me, I haven't spoken to my father for over a year, and recently I wanted to start speaking to him because I felt really I wondered if he changed, what sounds quite sad, but he hasn't, from what I can tell by the phone call. I haven't received a phone call, but if he did, I would threaten that I would call the police, because by the looks of it, that he just doesn't. I'm very lucky with my family, apart from that I don't speak to my mum or my father. My whole family speak to me, my whole family accepts me. I did push my sisters away, that was my fault. I recently got back in contact with my two sisters and my auntie, but apart from that, I'm very lucky. Yesterday, the day before I'm recording this, I felt angry for the whole day, and I keep saying to myself that even if I do find a guy, I know that it's not going to be the whole fairy tale romance, because there is no such thing as a perfect relationship. But I just mentally can't cope with a man in my life. But that's the saddest part, is that I feel so lonely in the way how I sort of deal with things. And I sound sad, but I look on gay TikTok. No, I'm not transitioning. I most definitely am a proud trans woman, but it takes me back to the days when I was gay, and I felt so lonely, and even now I still feel lonely. But before I came out as trans, I made a knowing case that it would have been even harder for me to find a guy to call my own, to say I love him, and to find a boyfriend. But it's not easy, and I just look on these TikToks, and it sounds sad, but something so fake, yet it makes you feel so real and so raw in emotions. And we live in a society where ageism, if I'm saying it right, still exists. And I'm 24, turning 25, and most of you may think, well, that's nothing. But to me, it's a significant thing. I've never had intercourse, and I'm not saying that to feel happy you have to have intercourse. No, but to me, I've been saving it since I was 17, and it sounds sad, and you may think that I've got high barriers, but to me, all I wanted was to find a guy who would love me, accept me, and to hold me, and to understand. And the sad thing is that I've never really found a guy like that. No guy has asked me out on a date. No guy has never really done anything. I have been open, and I have been understanding. I go to prides to hopefully find someone. Also, see friends and all that. The sad thing about it is that being trans, or even being gay, I spoke to a gay guy on my Facebook page, and I said, is it still hard to find someone even being gay? And he said, God, yes, it's so hard. And the sad thing about it is that being trans or being gay or being, whatever, it's going to be hard. And being lonely at this moment in time, even during this pandemic, it's sort of intensifying. But really, nothing's really changed compared to pandemic to now. And to me, I haven't felt suicidal, but more lonely, more abandoned, and more scared about turning older and being older, and feeling worthless, and still feeling intensified and feeling unattractive. It's the one thing I hate, is to feel or to be unattractive. Is so sad. To me, look at me. It's to me, I'm not pretty, and I'm not the whole sort of model style trans woman that so many people. I got told that so many times I had to look in a certain way for being trans. I have to act in a certain way, pass and all that. And I do wear makeup. You're on my makeup table where I'm filming this, but I don't. The last time I wore makeup was on Christmas, Day 2019, and I haven't worn makeup since then because I haven't seen the point of. But I've got friends who do wear makeup every day, and each to their own. But there's such a pressure on people who are my age or who are trans or even just trying to live or be friends. And I've never had friends of my own age, and I've always wanted to have the whole friendship group, house parties. I've never been to a house party with my own age. I've always been to house parties that are mums in their 40s or 50s. I've got the oldest friend that I've got is retiring. I'm not, disheartened by it, but I just feel when I go into town and see all the group of friends and guys that I like, I feel unable to speak to them, unable to try to have a connection with them. I have spoken to guys, I have asked guys out. One guy thought that I was actually asking him out for coffee, but I meant as a date. Obviously, you can go for coffee on a date, but it's not nice. The other day I gave my number to a guy, and that took so much pressure. But when I look back at it, I just see so many problems that I did, and I just felt so ugly the way how it is and how I was. There was one time that I did ask a guy out on a date, and he said he was speaking to someone, but if he wasn't, then he would, and that made my day, and it stuck in my mind for months after that. Sounds sad, but he was so beautiful. But yeah, I can't. I know the before can there's can, but I mentally can't cope bringing other people into my life. When I get very destructive and very not argumentative or angry. I wouldn't assault someone. I wouldn't attack someone. But to me, I mentally can't. I'm not mentally strong enough for me to bring a guy in. I have met guys sexually, but none of them were my type. And it sounds. I know what you may say. Well, why did you go with them? It was that feeling of being connected, but I didn't feel anything. I didn't fancy them, and it sounds sad, but I just don't. To me, sex and all that has to have passion, and to me, I felt so insecure about how I look and how I sort of dress, and especially that thing down there, and especially my nose and my voice. It's just such an insecure thing. I was on HRT, but I had to stop it because of certain things in my life. Not mentally, but other things, and just bloody awful. I tried to go with the NHS, and that went horrendous because they still class us as part of the mental health. And being trans or being non-binary or whatever, trying to trying to transition, got it. They treat you like that you've got severe mental health. It's just disgusting. I went for the mental health when I was younger, and it's what started it off. They treated me so poorly. They put me on this type of drug, and it wasn't a drug that I was meant to be on. I was going home to mentally really abusive father who hurt me, who mentally really damaged me, and he hasn't apologized. He doesn't apologize. He doesn't care. And I said to him the last time that I said to him, accept me and call me by my name, Diana. And he said, I accept you, but I won't call you that. And that's what I mean. And then the day after that I told him accept me and love me, he insulted me and said that or my autism and is a thing because of trans and just things like that. And I knew from then that I couldn't deal with the whole situation with him, and even now, just feels that it's just not worth it. That my mental health is just. I feel so disappointed in the way how my life is, and I do read, I do listen to, podcasts. I do believe that there's something deeper, and I've made a 4-year plan, but that ability to love someone, that ability to be wanted, not just by a guy, but to have that group of friends, to have that girly time, to have that sort of experience is something that I'm so scared of growing old and even uglier that I won't have. Turning 25, I'm going to spend it with friends well, actually, I'm going to spend it. My friends picking me up, and we're going to my uncle's place, and that's what I want because I can't do parties. I just mentally can't. Sad, really, but I've always been like that. I don't look for sympathy. I don't really like sympathy. What I think that I really want is to people to open up about their feelings and their emotions and express of how they truly feel, because my mental health is other people's mental health, and I don't mean that that is a burden. I mean that I know that I'm not alone, and I know that there's other people in this world that are like me, even people who you think that are just dead gorgeous are going through the same thing. I think the sad thing about it is that people still think that people don't really understand what, mental health or or what depression or loneliness or anxiety or being trans is really like, or even being gay like, or being a part of the LGBT plus is like. They say that the straights have it so hard, but Jesus Christ, you have no idea. You have no idea what it means to have someone or accept someone, or to have or see those lovely, couple pictures and their, parents accept them, and all that whole experience of the whole, you know, being loved and being young. It's the one thing I hate is growing old and lonely and, unable to share my passion and my love towards someone else. That is something that I'm so scared of losing, is the way how I look and the way how it is going. I hope you take something from this video. Stay safe and be proud.